What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. This is your girl, Lady Nika, and to give you season 5, episode 7 of My Wives. I had originally said that I wasn't gonna fuck with this shit here because I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I really didn't watch My Wives after they shut down the Chicago installment. I mean, I was into that Chicago stuff. Even wound up being followed by Christina Scolari, that's my boss bitch there. But so I don't really know these chicks, but I did want to do it because a couple of my subbies felt like that I would be able to do it and, give y'all some entertainment with it, as well as Mike B. So Mike B and Random Majestic, I think that's your name. If I'm saying it wrong, man, please put it down in the comments. Check a bitch and I will apologize because I be forgetting sometimes, girl. We down to 8 pills a day, but still, that's a lot for a bitch to take. So I made me some notes up in this thing. Wait a minute, shit, y'all. I gotta get the damn right notes. I told y'all I'm gonna do Empire tonight too, per my subbies request. So y'all bear with a bitch, cause I don't know how this shit gonna turn out. But I'm gonna try my best to give y'all what y'all ask, okay? So, with that shit being said, we're gonna start off tonight's episode with Drita inside of her little boutique or whatever. Drita business apparently is growing and she wants to do some more expansion of her brand. So she's coming with this idea of starting a 12-month calendar featuring, different items that she sell or whatnot, So in comes Karen. And, they know each other from childhood, so they get to reminiscing and shit about, their poker days, how they used to be at each other, at each other's father's houses, enjoying, playing poker. And Karen tells Drita that she's going to actually have a housewarming party soon, and she wants her to come, and they're going to use the poker playing as like a theme for it. So they all good with that, okay? Alright, next we see Big Ange. She meets up with Natalie. Now, apparently it's some shit going on between Natalie and Karen. Big Ange is meeting up with her, and at first, y'all, I almost thought I was going to have to check my girl Big Ange, because we don't do messy bitches. We don't do messy. And, the way the conversation started out, with Natalie bringing up, Natalie brought up the fact that Big Ange and Renee had actually got into it on last episode. But they worked their shit out, and she let her know, we worked past that. We're in a good place now. And Natalie, true to form, she said, okay, that's good. I'm happy for you. So I'm thinking, okay, we got us some big little women up in here, some little big women. Some little gangster bitches, but nevertheless still big little women. So, they go on to talk about, what are they talking about? Oh, Angie wanted to know what was going on. Why is there such a beef between Natalie and Karen? And she said that Karen had told her that Natalie had gone on social media. That damn social media, baby, it'll make you or break you sometime. But they was on that, apparently Natalie had got on social media and said some shit about Karen being a bad mom, a bad parent, called her all kinds of names, fat, ugly, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Where Natalie says to Andy, I did do that. Because, Natalie that type of bitch. If I did it, I did it. So she said, yeah, I did it, but let me tell you why I did it. I did it because someone hacked my mother's Facebook page and took pictures off, and my mom was really upset about that. Y'all, that's some juvenile shit. And girl, probably don't nobody even know your mom's damn name. But anywho, that's what the beef is. Angie even was looking at her like, well, the the rule. The unspoken rule is we keep family out of it. And, her daughter being involved in a conversation with you via Twitter or whatever the fuck it was whatever site they want was, inappropriate. But what we would like to do is have a meet and greet where you guys can sit down and talk, And So Natalie's like, I'll send the bitch a fuck you note, but she agrees to go ahead and do this. All right, y'all. I don't do this shit in order either. So now we gonna move on over to the poker party at Karen's house. Everybody's, they got nice food sitting up in there, cheap ass paper plates, but and I know my wives have been on for 5 years. Anyway, whatever. They invite Natalie G. Natalie G let her know, girl, look, I'm the one gave her the pictures. She didn't hack your mama's Facebook page. Because once again, Renee brings up the conversation which gets Karen started about what's going on with her and Natalie and this social media beef they got going on. Well, next thing I know, during the party, Drita actually comes to Angie and asks Angie, would she, like to be in her calendar? Because, of course, like I said, she's trying to expand her brand and build up her lady boss empire. And I ain't mad at that bitch. Go ahead. Get that coin. So Angie agrees to it, and I'm going to step off from this party. They did, in fact, do the photo shoot, and I must say, I was very impressed. I was, because although I am a big Ange fan, I like her. I've even been to the Drunken Monkey in Staten Island. Yes, honey. I had my chocolatey ass up in there getting fucked up. We all know Angie got some real strong, manly, muscular facial expressions. The bitch got a strong face, okay? She don't look like no woman. You gotta roll up on her slowly. You can't just roll up on her quick. But be that as it may, she did an excellent photo shoot. It was very nice looking. And on back to this damn party where she originally asked her to do it. But before we go back to this party, y'all, hold on. There was a scene where Angie and her husband Neil thought they was finna move into their home because Angie been looking for this nice place because her son AJ is getting out of Rikers Island's prison, and she wanted to get him in a nicer environment, maybe get him off of that mob street life shit that he been in for the last couple of years, and the house ain't even fucking ready, so of course that pisses her off. All right, y'all. The party pretty much was just them going over the shit that they don't like about Natalie saying what she got to say to that bitch named Karen. And we know Renee is pro Karen because that's her friend, and she feel like that ever since Natalie came into the clique, it's been a lot of foolishness and shit. And she even said so much out of her mouth, ever since this rat ass whole bitch, is her words, came along, it's been nothing but dissension amongst the ladies. So she don't feel her ass no way. But she gonna be at the damn get together for the meet and greet before they can get this conversation thing going on. We also have a scene where Drita kind of like tripping with London, her boyfriend, about having to go to New York City every, weekend or whatever. But my thing is this bitch, he don't complain when he come to Philly however often he come. And he must come often because he helps your family with the family mortuary. Didn't y'all think that was kind of strange? These are mob-related people and they have a funeral home. I don't know. That's just a theorist in me, so I'm going to leave that shit alone because that ain't got shit to do with what we talking about tonight. Anyway, we going to skip on up to the main event. We got Drita, we got Renee, we got Big Ange at the table. Big Ange is saying she hoped that, maybe that this will work out and they can get past their issues. Renee is like, I doubt seriously, and Renee has vowed that she's not going to say anything. She's just going to be quiet and let it happen. But she let it be known she back her girl Karen. Drita is my type of bitch. Look, if y'all going to do whatever y'all going to do, let's get this shit popping. Fuck all them exercising. Fuck all that mouth. Fuck all that bumping the gun. Fuck all that pussy peddling and backbiting. Fuck all that. If you bout that life, you bout that life. And apparently, some of these hoes supposed to be about that life. So, we have Miss Karen come in. We see Karen getting out of her car. And Karen is dressed in all black, baby, like she going to either going to a funeral about to funeralize a motherfucker. And later we find out what go on. Well, anyway, Karen gets there and you know, they're sitting there, they're discussing it again. And once again, for Renee not to have zero fucks to give for Natalie, she's the most outspoken out of all of them. Finally, Miss Natalie pull up. But right before Natalie pull up, it shows her leaving her place. And she like, I'm going to go and meet with these hoes and shit and get this out the way. But let me just say this here. If you snap at me, I'm going to snap back at you. And I didn't say shit that most people don't already want to say about Karen, but they scared. I ain't scared. Got in her car and on her way to the meet down. So she gets to the meet down and everything, y'all. And when she gets there, she greets Drita, she greets Angie, but she don't say nothing to them other two bitches because she already know these hoes ain't feeling me and this shit probably gonna go bad. But y'all, this what killed me. Y'all, how about this bitch Nelly show up like she going to the club. Now you know these hoes, you know this hoe gonna try you. But you got on a motherfucking, what I call a titty slingshot. You know, it's one of them ones that just cover up, you know, for the smaller breasted women. I ain't one of them. But, you know, they cover up just the titty part. And then you have your outside and then you can see down that little gap in the front. You know what I'm saying? She got that shit on. I mean, this bitch look like she going to the club and shit. She don't look like she going to her ass whooping or ready to deliver one. But nevertheless, a bitch did digress. So they get into, they start this shit about why each other's mad at the other one. And it goes on and on and on. They just arguing. A little water gets slung. I'm in the impression at this moment, okay, ding ding, round one. Challenge shit happened. They kept on arguing. In fact, Renee done jumped her ass in, who said she wasn't going to have shit to say. But now she wants to jump in and ask her, why don't you ever want to take responsibility for what you did? Child, Karen was, Natalie was cool. Smoked her a motherfucking cigarette and everything on that bitch and said, I take responsibility. I've been told you could come and apologize to me. And we'll be cool. Well, Renee don't feel like she got nothing to apologize for. And so she just basically told her, bitch, I don't need you in my life, nor do I want you in my life, so fuck you. So they had a little tit-tat. Meanwhile, Karen, who they supposed to be there to deal with issues about, her and Karen, is sitting there. Karen has gone silent. Now, y'all, I'm going to tell y'all something about this silence. Most time, we don't necessarily say this one, but most time, when a hoe goes silent, that's that quiet for the storm. So they continue to argue and argue and argue. And next thing I know, baby, Natalie haul off and say some shit like, well, whoever don't like what I got to say, come for me. Or bring it, or some shit. Baby, Karen snatched that. She jumped up, did her. Baby, she had like she was about that life. That bitch jumped up like she, you know, was a bad bitch and slung the table over. And guess what they got to doing, y'all? Something that I absolutely have always despised in my entire life as a fighter, because I was one of them ones, and as a motherfucking woman, period. If we gonna get into it, bitch, we gonna throw blows. Fuck all that pulling hair shit. But I tell you one thing, must been some real motherfucking hair, because I sure was looking. Did y'all look too? I was looking on the ground to see if anybody got their motherfucking track snatched out. But I ain't seen not one track on the ground, so there must been some real whole hair there. But that's all they did. Some kind of way Karen wound up falling down. But that bitch Natalie was still standing up. She had her head down because that motherfucker had the top of that crown of that head. But she was holding on too. And when they was able to find the security for VH1 and whoever else was there, you know, they able to get them apart. Natalie only had like a little bitty scratch in her face. Whereas it looked like, now if I'm wrong, y'all put them in the comments below. But it seemed like that girl Karen had a big long ass scratch down her face, and she all hyped talking about, you know, let me get to her and all that shit. And I'm gonna be honest with you, boo-boo, at that point, you might as well shut up. Because you had the opportunity. When you threw that table over, you should have got on that bitch motherfucking ass right then. Now, it's one thing. I'm about fairness. Now, when a bitch... Now, maybe your daughter should have stayed out of her, out of that. But I can understand how a child would feel, especially if she of age and she's sitting here watching this woman come for my mama, and I ain't got shit to do with this here. So, maybe your daughter should have stayed out of it, but I can understand where your daughter came from when she did try to say something to this woman on your behalf, okay? But if you were that pissed off, and most times when it involves a woman, children, she get that what you call adrenaline rush on your ass. But apparently, Karen didn't get her adrenaline rush, y'all, because all they did was pull her hair, and then she was talking about, come on, let me fight the bitch one-on-one. Girl, you had opportunity to do all of that shit, and you ain't do it. Fuck all that second chance shit. You supposed to do, that first chance should be your last chance. You supposed to take that whole head off. And you obviously did not. So we all know that although I have respect for you, Karen, a fighter, you is not, honey. And that is all that I have to say about the My Wives Season 5, Episode 7. I do believe I said. I hope that I was able to give you what you wanted. Miss Majestic and a couple other people that asked me to do the review. I will be back in next week to try to do this again. In the meantime, please like, comment, subscribe, and share my videos. And until the next time, y'all, have a wonderful night and peace.